Hi there. This is a really good technical question that I'm more than happy to share a bit of insight in. What's the difference between compounded creams, gels, and patches? So there's a few differences between those three. And what I'll do now is I'll break down the reasons why someone like us at National Custom Compounding would choose one of those particular dosage forms. Creams and gels are very common in compounding pharmacies. Patches are not so common, and that's predominantly because the technology or the equipment required to make a patch to release the product is quite technical. So we won't spend too much time on that one. But at a high level, creams are semi-solid preparations, basically combination of water and oil phases. You'd be familiar with them. They're smooth, they're easy to absorb. You rub them in, they're pretty quick to go through the skin. And they can contain a variety of active ingredients that like that type of water and oil situation. Now, not everything's suited, but a lot of things do quite like sitting in a cream. So that's definitely option one. Gels are slightly different. They're often more of an aqueous phase, so they're higher water containing, which means the ingredients have to like that environment to behave in. The good thing about the gel is that because of the way they work, they generally tend to avoid the greasiness that creams have because the creams contain the oil phase. And some medicines might move faster through the skin because they're in more of the water containing gel than compared to a cream. So quite different situations when you'd use those bases. And then the patches, like I said, they're a lot more technical, not often used in compounding pharmacies, but when they are, you can really produce this matrix that helps to move things through the skin in more of a time-controlled manner. So you might not see them very often in compounding pharmacies, but when you do, they're a very clever dosage device. So what you generally find in a compounding pharmacy like ours is that a compounding pharmacist with their experience would know what active ingredient your doctor on prescription wants, and then the pharmacist will decide which base is most suitable for the outcome that you're looking for. So, sometimes you might want a gel, but in actual fact, it's not possible with the active ingredient you're after, and vice versa. You might want a cream, but the gel might be better. So I would always, as a free take home, I'd always suggest you just chat to the compounding pharmacist and trust their expertise. That's what we're ultimately here for. But always, if there's a form that you prefer or you've had experience with in the past, mention that to the compounding pharmacist too, and we can do what we can to make what you need to get the outcome you desire. So like always, it does always come down to the compatibility of the ingredients in the base, but more often than not, there's a bit of flexibility in compounding pharmacies, and we'll do what we can to make sure you get what you need and have the best outcome. I hope this helped. Reach out anytime and have a great day.